What's going on, guys? NoSlack Novak here, and surprise, surprise, I am bringing back an old series, and for the most part I just want to make you guys aware of this awesome game. Now, this is one of the first series that I've actually done on the channel, and it could possibly be my actual favorite. This just might be my favorite series that I've done on the channel. Yes, more favorite. I probably like this more than the Sim Airport or the Prison Architect or the Software Inc. or any of that other stuff. This is a really fun game, a game that I have wasted hours and days and weeks on playing just for fun. And I kind of want to introduce you guys to it, because a lot of you guys are somewhat new to the channel. The last probably 7, 8, 9,000 of you guys that have subscribed have no idea what Banished is. You guys have never seen me play it, so I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. And if there's interest, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to either continue, or I might just start off a new series. Now let me give you a little bit of a rundown as to what Banished is. So you start the game off with, you know, it could be anywhere between 2 to like 15 people that got banished from their old, you know, home, town, country, whatever you want to call it, and I control them. Now, none of this was here originally, okay? This was just straight up forest. It was pretty much, everything pretty much looked just like this. Hills, random forests over here, some resources, and we had to build it up into what this is now. And as you guys can see, this is Slacktown, and we have a population of just over 300 people. Now, let me show you. So every citizen here needs a house, which is what these are, wooden houses. We have some stone houses down here somewhere. Anyways, wooden houses. We need to feed our people, right? So we have farms, we have crop fields with potatoes, corn, pumpkin, wheat, and these are all things that we have to trade for. We have some orchards here. We have cherry orchards. We have walnut orchards, another cherry one right there, and then we also have these pastures. So we have cows, and as you can see, these guys over here are tending to the field. They're raising these cows. These all pretty much look like they're adult cows, but let me show you. Oh, look at that. We have chickens over here. If you click on that, we can fit 30 chickens. We have 31 right now. So what they're going to do is they're actually going to, where's the information? Here we go. They're actually going to be slaughtering some chickens. Anything that you're over ends up getting slaughtered. So the chickens that we slaughtered last season produced 144 chicken, along with 354 eggs from the ones that are actually not being slaughtered. And then over here, these cows, same thing. They produce, if we're over, they produce beef for us, and once we kill them, they give us leather. And as you guys can see here, we have a little baby cow right there, looking a little cute, stuck in the fence or whatever. Again, one of our citizens here is tending to the pasture. And this is really just a really fun game. You have to manage all these people, you have to assign them the jobs, and as you can see, so we have over 300 people, and these are all the professions that we need in our town, right? We need builders, which we don't have anybody assigned right now because we're not building anything. We need farmers, which we're maxed out because I want to get as much of this food as possible. We have herdsmen, which are the ones that take care of the cows and chickens and sheep and all that good stuff. Gatherers gather food from these little huts over here. Let's see where we got. Hunting cabin. Okay, so we don't have a gatherer over here. Do we have a gatherer over here? No, we don't. Gatherers pretty much just gather... duh, right? Gatherers just pretty much go into the forest and they grab berries and roots and mushrooms and onions and things like that. Things that you would find in the middle of a forest, and that just kind of helps supply your food demand. Now, what else? Fishermen. We have these fishing docks over here on the water. Here, here, here. Again, they do exactly what you pretty much think they do. They gather fish. We have hunters who hunt deer and things like that. They provide leather and a little bit of food. And the leather we need to produce jackets and clothing. We have woodcutters, which grab our excess logs and they convert it into firewood. And the firewood helps heat our homes during the winter time, which right now we are in the summertime, so we're not really too worried about it. but that is something that's very, very important during the winter months because people can freeze to death and it is not pretty. Foresters, they pretty much just resupply our forest. So we should have a few over here. Forester's Lodge right there, Forester's Lodge right there. They will cut down and plant new trees in their little zone right here. You can see the yellow circle. So they're going to walk around, they're going to chop down trees. As you guys can see, there's a few little tiny ones here, like right there, that are going to get, that just got planted and they're going to grow. And as some of these trees grow and mature fully, they're going to get chopped down and they're going to be replaced with these new little trees. It's a nice little cycle, and that helps us get the logs for the woodcutters. Now, herbalists, they gather medicine from the forest, nothing crazy. Blacksmith, they help provide us with tools because every worker that has a job needs some sort of tool. So as you can see here, we have 351 tools for our 300 something population. More than enough. Brewer helps produce beer, which makes people happy, obviously. Tailors here will make the clothing out of the leather. As you guys can see here, we have 346 stored clothing, which pretty much means everybody in our population has clothes. Plus, we have another 343 in stock. Now, vendors. Vendors actually help you. There we go. Vendors work in our little marketplace right here, which this marketplace helps bring in all of these supplies, all the food and the tools and all that stuff. It helps keep that here so that people can kind of come from their housing areas. So like this little concentration of houses here and here and here, they will all come to the market and grab what they need, as opposed to having to go way, way, way over here to like a storage barn or a stockpile or anything like that. So those are very useful. And the more people we have working at these markets, the more vendors we have, the faster the items all get circulated to where they need to go. Now we have traders, which are right here, and we store, for me personally, I like to do the firewood system. So we chop a lot of trees, we create a lot of firewood, and then we sell the firewood, which has a value of 4 for whatever items that we could possibly need. Now these are all things that are kind of in the game that we probably own, but then there's also, and I don't know why I'm not able to show you guys this, but there's different seeds, different crops, different animals that we can all trade for, different tools, clothing. We can all trade some of our resources that we have for resources that maybe we're struggling with producing or that we are yet unable to produce. So that is what the trader does. We have 6 of them right now. Miners work in this little hilltop mine over here. Let me show you that. This one right here. And right now we are mining coal. We could also mine some iron, however we still have some iron left on the map, so I'm not too worried about that. But the coal helps produce more items, such as better tools. Stonecutters we're not worried about. Pretty much that is like a mine but for stone. Teachers, we do need to educate our students because educated students work much, much better than non-educated students. So we have schools somewhere around this this map. Here's one right here, schoolhouse. As you guys can see, we have 15 students. Each schoolhouse can fit 20 students. Right now we have 47. We have 53 children, and then we have 47 students. So we have the 6 schoolhouses because we have, or 3 schoolhouses because we have 3 teachers, so we can educate 60 students. We only have 48, so we have roughly 15 or 16 in each school, which is pretty much perfect. Now let's see here. What else? We have a physician working in our hospital, right? Because you can develop like kind of diseases and stuff. So as soon as somebody develops a disease, they go to the hospital and they get cured, hopefully. If not, if we didn't have the hospital, they would just slowly spread it from person to person to person, and pretty much our entire population would croak. Last but not least, cleric. We don't have one, so I'm not even going to go ahead and talk about it. So this is Banished, guys, and it is a very, very fun game. I suggest you guys watch the prior episodes on this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to link to the playlist in the description below, as well as I'm going to throw up one of those little cards over here in the video. And if you guys, if you guys think you're interested in it, do me a favor, check that out. I think you guys will really enjoy it. I want to say it's something like 10 episodes. And you guys, you know, just do me a favor, check it out. I think you guys will like it a lot. I know I've said that more than I needed to. We have a little blacksmith here working on tools and such. And it's really cool because you do have to kind of really prioritize some of this stuff. So if we come in here, amount of stored food, we have 11,000, which is, it's solid. 11,000 food will feed these 326 people for probably a year or two. However, that is going to continue to get replenished. And if we come here, we can actually see our people doing random stuff. So this citizen here, what's it? Silva Steve? That's a kind of a funky name. Silva Steve is 27 years old, has clothing, has a steel tool. He's working right now, and he is a vendor. So he's working in that market or another market around here, and he's actually transferring these goods wherever they need to go. Maybe he picked them up somewhere and he's taking them to a market. Maybe he is from a market and he's taking it to a house. He could have, let's see what he has. He has fish, mutton, onions, and roots. So pretty much he has just a bunch of food, and he is going to be delivering it. I don't know why. There we go. He's going to be delivering it, and let's see where he takes it. I'm guessing he's probably just going to another market. Maybe not. He might be going to a home. Nope. Looks like he's going to be bringing it over here to this market. Yeah, so pretty much this market looks like maybe they needed some more of that stuff, even though they have a ton of food over here. But maybe that stuff needed to be brought over here because these houses are, maybe they're struggling with food or something. Let's check out their inventory. So in this house, all this inventory is in this house. So this house should not go hungry anytime soon. They have a family here of 42 and a 39-year-old mother and father. Then they have two kids, 19 and 18. And the fact that this kid here is 19 and still living at home lets me know that we need to build some more houses. Let's see here. Yeah, all these houses have a decent inventory. A few could use a little bit more food, but that's what we have, all these farms around here. And as you guys can see, these guys actually plant the crops, and then they go around collecting the crops. So let's go ahead and speed up time. See, this farmer over here is grabbing all this stuff and putting it in the basket and then taking it to the vendor, and then the vendor can distribute the food. And as you guys can see, look at that, it's snowing. It is late autumn. It is, what, 58? That can't be right. Oh, that's, we're in the 58th year. It's 23 degrees outside, so yes, it is cold enough to snow. And people need their jackets to stay warm, which they do have, because we do have a nice little stockpile of jackets over here. And then this is telling me that we are over the limit with food. See, I'm asking for a food limit of 25,000. We just dropped below 25,000. This can actually get raised up a lot more. Let's go ahead. I'm going to do something like, let's just go to 30. We're going to do 30,000 food. That is what I would like to have. Food is very important because you can have all your people starve to death in a matter of 1 or 2 seasons. It is actually this game is brutal. This game will punish you for making a little mistake, and a lot of times, see, look, somebody is sick over here, as a matter of fact. Citizen with a disease. Click here to select and cycle through them. Marion here has some sort of a disease, but he's visiting the doctor, so hopefully the doctor will be able to take care of that. 66 years old as well. As we know, the older you are, the more susceptible you are to certain diseases. So Marion there hopefully won't die, but you know, I mean, if they do, hopefully they don't spread the disease. That will prevent them from making the rest of our population, you know, sick and possibly die. Forester's Lodge here, taking care of the forest, replenishing our wood supply. Here we have the woodcutter, so they bring the wood here, and you can actually see these guys chopping it. Look at you carrying something. Fernelia, 61 years old and still working, pretty going strong. Talise, 25 years old. Talise is working. She's a laborer. Oh, that's something I didn't cover. So what the laborers do is they do somewhat of what the The vendors do. Right? The vendors, yes. So the laborers actually go around, and whenever we ask them to chop trees or gather stone or iron, that's pretty much their own job. They go around, they gather all the resources, and they bring them to wherever they need to go. So for example, if we were to build a bunch of houses over here, all the laborers would gather whatever resources were needed to build that house. They would bring it here, then we would assign a few builders, and the builders would then go ahead and work on constructing those houses, which is actually something that we should probably do. So let me show you guys. We're gonna come here into the home tab. I want to say we have 176 stone, so let's go ahead and build some stone houses. I'm gonna go ahead and place these guys right here. We're gonna let's just fill out this whole little row. Maybe. I don't want to block that little walking path right there, so I'm not going to. Can we maybe fit it like this? No, we cannot. Oh well. It's okay. Yep, nope. Okay, so there we go. We have these 3 houses ready to be built, and if we click on it, it'll show us here. Nothing needs to be removed because it's not placed in a forest or anything like that. We need 24 logs, 40 stone, 10 iron, and it's going to take like 45 units to build. So let's go ahead and speed up time just a little bit. Let's go all the way. So these laborers now are going to be bringing resources to these 3 kind of construction areas. As you guys can see, something's already being brought over here. So they're bringing these things, and when we do have enough resources, and we have so many, we have 48 laborers, so it's going to be quick. All these things are going to be brought pretty quick. And let's see, this one just missing some iron, which we actually don't have any iron. Everything is delivered here except for iron. Everything is delivered here except for iron. Same thing here. So what we need to do is we need to gather more iron, which is over here. This over here is iron. We do have a bridge going over. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have these guys come over here. We're going to go ahead and collect iron. I'm going to select this area over here. And those same laborers that we have, the 49 laborers now, are going to come over here. They're going to gather some of that iron up. They're going to bring it to our stockpiles, which are right here, which is pretty much just areas where we want stone, wood, iron, all of our resources to be placed. And then once it's placed here, other laborers come in, they grab what they need, and they deliver it to the areas that need that resource. So nothing has been delivered yet, but that is fine. As you guys can see, all of these laborers that are walking over here are coming from where that iron is. They're coming over the bridge. They've delivered some over here to the stockpile, so now people are going to grab it from the stockpile. And they're going to see, they're walking it over here. And they're going to deliver it to these houses. So we should have a few over here. We have 8 iron over here. We have 6 here, and we have 6 here. So these are really close to being built. There we go. That one is ready. That one is ready to be built now. And just waiting on one more. But you know what? We can go ahead and we can... Oh, there it is. So now what we're going to do, each house requires 2 builders. So that's why it is showing us as needing 6 builders. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to assign 6 builders, and it gets taken straight out of the laborers pool of workers over here. So our 6 new builders are going to come. They're going to start working on those houses pretty soon. We do have a pretty large map, and there's a lot of area to cover. But as you guys can see, these guys are working, and they're about 50% done with constructing that. Halfway done constructing that. Same thing over here. 87% right now. 83%. 80%. And there we go. There's our house. There's our second house. And there's our third house. Beautiful. Now let's see. Did anybody move in yet? Yes, look at that. We have Santine and Hetina, 22 and 24-year-old couple, moving in. They're both vendors. We have a 19 and 23-year-old couple, builder and a vendor, moving in over there. Oh, and one of them just got reassigned to fisherman and farmer. And this game does a really good job of reassigning jobs so that the job that they have is as close to their house as possible. That way they don't have to trek across the entire map to do some silly job, and then they end up doing the job for an hour or two before they get hungry and they have to go back home to eat. So that's very nice. And here we have a farmer and a herdsman, 29 and 23. Typically what you want is when you build a new home, you want a younger couple, maybe 18 to 20, to move in. So this is telling me that we are actually a little bit behind on the house building. They're just a little bit older than what I would like for them to be. So maybe we just need to build a few more houses. Now this little purple sign here tells me that a trader came into our trading post. And what are they offering? They are offering plum seeds and cherry seeds. So as you guys can see here, plum seeds, one plum seed costs 25,000 units of value. So we would have to trade like something like 750 or so firewood just to get that one plum seed, which is worth it. The one plum seed, you can create an entire orchard. Now I do want to see, what do we have in our inventory? This is something that the trader that we currently have is going to be able to bring us if we actually request it. I'm not going to. Now we do have cherry seeds already, right? I showed you that we have the cherry orchard, so I'm not worried about that. However, I don't think we have any plum. I'm not seeing any over here, so we might be able to just do that. Let's do it. We'll give him one plum seed, and let's give him, was it 725? Is that what it is? Overpaying by 400. Alright, and this is where my math is not so good. Let's do, so 625 maybe? Perfect, 625 pieces of firewood for one plum seed. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take that trade, and because we don't want these cherry seeds, we are going to dismiss him, and we can now plant our plum orchards, which is something that I'm not going to do right now. I'm not seeing a really good place to do that, but maybe in future episodes, if I continue this series, we can go ahead and do that. So yeah, our houses are finished. As you guys can see, they're now covered with snow. Let's see what kind of inventory they have. They have plenty of food, absolutely plenty. They have 114 firewood, which is why you see the chimneys smoking. They're heating their home. 114 firewood there, and we have 113 firewood here. Now, as you guys can see, Mitcher and Jaylee already had a child, 1-year-old child. Same thing here. Hosterlin, 1-year-old child, and Dorothy, 1-year-old child. So that all three of those families, as soon as they moved in, they got busy with making babies. Now it shows you right here in our little event log. It shows you the progress of every single person in your little town, in Slacktown. So as we can see here, Haran died of old age. Loria replaced Haran as the forester because Haran was a forester, so that's now Loria's job. Which every time somebody dies, their job gets replaced by a laborer. Now we had a child born here. We had Armand go from being a child to a student. A child was born, and Caden became a student. Another child was just born. So our population is constantly increasing. As you guys can see, just in the last maybe 5 minutes, we've increased about 15 in population. And this is why food is so important. Our population is pretty much constantly increasing, and it's a vicious thing. The more people you have, the more babies they have, and the more babies you have, the more babies become students. The more students become adults. The more adults you have, the more babies are born. You get what I'm getting at? It's a vicious cycle. Food is the most important resource in the entire game, which is why we have 22,000 right now. And we are constantly needing to expand. So what I'm going to want to do, I am going to want to eventually expand. We're going to need to build more farms and more pastures and more orchards just so that we can continue to feed our entire population. Now, people do die, but once we get up here into like the 200s, the 300s with population, more people are born than die all the time. Oh, and you know what? Here's an interesting thing. When people do die, if we actually have the area for it, they do get buried here. As you can see, we have 2 cemeteries. We have a cemetery here and here. This one here I think is pretty much full. 41 of 42 graves. And these graves do go away after something like 20 years. So they can be replenished, although very slowly. As you can see, one just left. so that grave there has room for 2 more people. But this one we built a giant grave because I do anticipate a lot of people dying off here in the next few years, probably 30-40 years, because the faster your population grows, the faster it also dies. But yeah, we still have like 90 or so graves available there. But yeah guys, this is Banished. If you guys would like to see me maybe start a new Banished town or continue this one, do me a favor, let me know, hit the like button, comment in the comment section saying that you'd like to see more of this, and hopefully if you guys like the video, do me a favor and like it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot to me. We are over 10,000, which I will be doing a 10,000 subscriber video either today or tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys on another video. Until then, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys later. Bye.